Okay, I know, another update 5 video back to back. I literally said I wouldn't do another one, but I don't care. New information dropped a good amount, and I have some speculating to do. Okay, there's some interesting things that I really want to talk about, and I don't know when update 5 is coming out, so I want to keep talking about them. My channel has just become us waiting for update 5. You know, that's just what it's become. So anyway, the first thing I want to cover is let's see. FOU released a bunch of TikToks. I know, interesting TikToks. And it showed off some new things that'll be coming to the game. I'm not going to cover anything that we don't really know, like that we've already kind of seen, or things that are somewhat irrelevant. For example, something that's kind of irrelevant is like you know, the font that appears, the words, the text that appear whenever you get a new dough fruit. It's like a new item, and it's like Goro. Yeah, they just, now it shows like the color of the rarity. So if you get a rare, it'll be blue. If you get like a common, it'll be gray. If you get a legendary, it'll be rainbow. If you get a mythical, it'll be that weird bluish pinkish one. You know, that's it. I'm kind of, yeah, lame. Whatever. The first thing I want to talk about are the gauntlets that FOU has decided to show off. Now the gauntlets have a pretty cool model. They look like they're a crack and drop, which is pretty interesting. We've seen their M1s. They look like they're fast, medium speedish M1s. I think they're fast actually, and they're just the same range as fists. I don't know what skills come with them. I don't know if any skills come with them. I don't know what they do. Likely they'll just have 2 skills like every other weapon, but I'm completely in the dark and I have no idea what their deal is. Literally just the fact that they'll probably have color variants. They look like a pretty interesting weapon, but nothing too crazy, to be honest. Just more weapons. I'm not mad about it, just whatever. What else? We've seen, the main thing that I actually do want to talk about in this video is that we've seen the Shusui. I think that's the name of the sword. The Shusui is one of Zoro's legendary blades. So if you don't know, prior to, spoiler alert, I guess, One Piece spoilers, whatever. Prior to Wano, Zoro's 3 swords were the Wado Ichimonji, the white sword that he had at the very start. The Sendai Kitetsu, I think, is his other sword, which I can't remember where he got that. And then he has a 3rd legendary sword, and his rarest sword that he has, I believe, because it's a black blade, the Shusui. And that sword he got in Wano from a legendary samurai from Wano. That sword he got in Thriller Bark from a legendary samurai from Wano. I don't know what I just said before that. But in Wano, in the arc that they are on now, he ends up actually getting rid of that sword and burying it, not burying it, but leaving it at that swordsman's grave. Or not, was it his grave? Whatever. He ended up leaving it at his grave, I believe. And he got the Enma instead, which is one of Odin's blades. I'm not going to explain who Odin or whatever happened is, because that's not really relevant right now. But the point is that this is like the first one of Zoro's legendary blades that we're ever going to see in the game, which is definitely interesting. Now, I have a little bit of beef with how they handled it, because it seems that it's just going to be like every other weapon and have 2 skills instead of something that's implemented into 1 or 2 sword style. Now, personally, in my opinion, how I believe that this weapon should be handled is it should have 2 skills of its own if you would like to use them. But if you are a 1 sword style main or a 2 sword style main, you should be able to implement this sword into either fighting style, in my opinion. Or they can go for a 3rd option and have it have its own 1 or 2 skills, whatever, and then the 3rd skill not the 3rd skill, then once 3 sword style gets introduced, which it has to eventually, there's no way they're going to make a One Piece game and not have 3 sword style. Once that gets introduced, they'll make it be a part of that. Like, that is a solution, but that's kind of a long-term solution. I don't really like that. I want to be able to use this with two sword style. I want to be able to pull some makeshift Zoro stuff. Like I think it'd be a cool sword to use. It definitely does look really sick, and the one skill that we saw for it looks pretty interesting, I guess. Nothing too crazy, but it's just nice. And it's also nice to see more things that are really One Piece related. Again, like there's not a lot of weapons and not a lot of items that I feel like could get an accurate representation of what they were like in One Piece, but something about seeing the Shusui just looks so satisfying. I don't know what it is, but the sword always has just looked phenomenal. So it is definitely very nice to see. Another interesting and random thing that they're introducing, which I don't know why they're introducing it, is a devil fruit book, like devil fruit logs. Just tells you like how many devil fruits you've gotten and like how many of each, and I don't know, it just seems really random. I don't think anybody really asked for it, but I'll take it. An extra edition is an extra edition. I'm yawning because I'm exhausted, and this is like my millionth update 5 video in a row. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this whole Shusui thing. How they handled it. It seemed like such a cool sword, right? Like everybody knows, like Shusui is really cool. But then they handled it like this. I don't know. I just think it's a little interesting. Yeah. Other than that, we saw I think some scissor swing animations. The scissor weapon. I'm not gonna show that because I think we've already seen the swing animations before. If not, they're not very interesting. It's just for the most part, it's how you swing a normal sword, but you know, you just snip them for some of the animations. It's kind of lame. Not really interesting. No skills or anything. Oh, something I did want to talk about is Prestige CC got a model change. It seems that they put a little purple ribbon on it, and they made the tip icy. Whatever. I don't know why they felt the need to do that. I guess it was because people didn't really like the fact that it was just a recolored normal CC. But I mean, I like it. It looks cool. I don't really care. I don't have the Prestige candy cane, but it definitely looks interesting, I guess. Also, something that wasn't really showcased well in the paw showcase that they didn't end up showing in one of the TikToks that I'm not really going to show because there's no point in showing it if I can just tell you. It really does nothing to add a video to it, is that the alt, you know, like the spirit bomb, the super whatever it's called, the giant paw that you can press down and shoot out while you're charging it, because the charge time is very long, you actually get damage negation, so you'll take less damage while you're charging it, and depending on what your HP is when it starts charging, the more damage negation you get. So the lower you are, the more damage that you negate. So that is definitely a good balance change. I actually do really like that. It's a very creative way of solving the fact that it's a very long ult to charge. So I like that. I mean, it does make you invulnerable, but it does make you nice and protected, at least a little bit. Again, not a lot of stuff. It's not like the most interesting things, but I have no idea when update 5 is going to drop, and I don't want to miss the opportunity of showing this information to the people who haven't seen it. I mean, with the exception of some other random leaks, that is the main highlights. Like, there's nothing else, you know. There's some clothes, there's some random like training things. I'm gonna leave the real elusive leaks out because like I don't feel like speculating for 15 minutes in a video. I just kind of want to get the information that we know out. But yeah, that's what we know. That's the new information that we've learned per se, because I don't want to cover old information for the millionth video in a row. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry to make another update 5 video back to back. I just really have no idea what content to make as of lately, as you can see by my uploads. I know they're really staggered, but yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.